Alright, so let's move our employee class to the previous tab. And I think that we never updated the payroll total. So once we start running our payroll in this loop, I think it would be appropriate to collect this pay amount and accumulate. So pay total plus equals this call, right? So we're just accumulating the entire payroll total. Okay, so this is fine. Now everything looks reasonable, and now let's add another employee. Okay, so we can say update the name. Jason Bourne. And I don't know, some kind of ID right here. And we'll just give him an hourly pay like $20 an hour, something like this. Alright, so let's run this. So this is for the entire week, so this is way too little because this is just like this needs to be, so this is like a rate. So this is a rate per hour, and we need to multiply this by, say, 40 hours. So that would be more reasonable. So we can say 40 hours. Okay, and this will be our hourly rate, and 40 hours, so this will be better. Okay, so something like this. So we imagine that we now begin to discover that we want to keep Jason Bourne a part-time. So this will be like a part-time employee. So we've designed the entire system to be operational for full-time employees because we specified weekly salary. We did our best to do something with our hourly rate and compute the hours and everything. But we just realized that for the reasons how we're going to generate all the benefits, keep the pension plans and all sorts of things. So what we need to do is that compute pay has to use different formulas for part-time employees. We also very likely need another data attribute, something like this, like private double hourly rate for part-timers. So this is for full-time, and this is for part-time. And basically what we need to do is apply different formulas and different computations in compute pay. So what could we do? So we have these two issues. We need this new thing, and we also need to put the more complicated logic in compute pay because we need to distinguish between the full-time and part-time, and the logic has to be different. So one of the possible solutions may be, right, essentially add some kind of employee type enumeration. So we could add yet another attribute, employee type, and say employee type, and create some sort of full-time, part-time like this. It could be a full-time by default, but can be also updated, and so forth and so forth. I'm not going to save it. And then we can say if employee time equals full-time right here inside compute pay, right? So we could add this if statement and say if employee type equals full-time, like this, then do what we did before, something like this. Then otherwise we need to distinguish that this is a part-time, and for the part-time we may need different formula, which is something like double pay amount, hourly pay rate, this thing multiplied by hours worked, and then we can also return this pay amount right here, and some other things could be different in here. Okay, so this is possible direction, right? So this is possible direction that we add this, we add new enumeration, we add this if statement right here, we do this and we do this, somewhat different. And of course there could be some other tweaks that we may require to be done in other parts of the system. So why this solution is bad? Why is it not a good solution? Well, I think there are some obvious things. First of all, this if statement, for example, it just kind of looks ugly. It was this clean and simple, just step number 1, 2, 3, done. Now we have some sort of complication here, okay? So this complex arrangement has, we just opened it for logical bugs, some maintenance difficulty, the need for very clear comments almost on every statement and why we do it here and not here. And it's just endless number of criticisms that we can say about this if statement. Second thing is, I think that we just added those things here. And for instance, if we're dealing with the full-time employee, which was the original employee that we were designing this for, then this is a waste of memory. This double will be occupying each object, and there will be this hourly rate stored there. We'll also have the employee type, so we waste even more memory. So basically, this object used to be this small. Now, for some reason, it became like this size, right? Because we just added almost like double the size of its original size. So why we're doing this? Well, only because we just kind of trying to work around different ways to compute the pay for different types of employees. So these are not good things. It's just right here, waste of memory. And the overall design, this entire thing, it just doesn't have the correct look and feel. And it's just overblown. Becomes more complex, and we started with pretty clean picture, and now this picture is just getting ugly. So can we do better than this? Can we have a better design? Well, what we could try to do is to split this employee into like employee full-time and employee part-time, and give each class type the appropriate set of attributes, and essentially write compute pay that would correspond directly to the part-time, which would be this thing, and to the full-time, that would be this thing, and try to accommodate these two different types in our system. So basically take this direction. So let's give this a try.